What's going on, Knife Tube? So we're back today with another special one. Today we're looking at the Benchmade Mini Bedlam. I did not foresee this knife in the channel's future, but after getting the Talwar and enjoying that so much, this is kind of like a mini Talwar a little bit. Pretty much same size generically, but smaller blade. Just a little bit, maybe not easier carry, but easier presentation. So let's get the measurements on this thing. So altogether, we'll be looking at, I'd say 5 5/8 with the window breaker there. The blade 3.5, 3.5 cutting edge, and 3 3/4 all the way. And then for the handle's just under 5, but when you include the glass breaker, we're looking at just a pinch over 5 1/8. Okay, let's get the scale out too. I want to see what this weighs. It is definitely very handle heavy. Yeah, not the easiest carry. I'll be honest. 4.7 ounces. Let's see. 134 grams. Sorry, guys. Yeah, so 4.7 ounces is not it's not huge by any means, but it is a little heavy in the handle, so it kind of drags on the pants. So the handle, we got G10 here. There's 3 versions of this knife. There's the high-end one that has carbon fiber, and then there's 2 that are in line with each other. It's a black G10. I preferred the Coyote. I think it looks a lot better, and it also, like, this texture here, it's got like the alligator pattern. The black one has a different pattern on it. Me personally, I mean, I love the look of the high-end one, but the one issue that I think lies there is that these come in S90V. So, sorry, something in my throat. These come in S90V, and the high-end one doesn't come with the Cerakote, the blade finish, which, personally, I don't really understand that. They advertise this as a tactical blade, and I would just personally say that, to make the 90V any stronger, the coating would be a good idea. It's not really going to brace on impact, but it gives it a little bit more, and that's why I don't really see this knife being very tactical other than its looks. But that's just me, and I'm no expert on the subject, but I do know a little bit about blade steel, and this wouldn't be my weapon of choice, if you will. But that's for the Americans and stuff like that. But yeah, for me personally, I got this because S90V is apparent. It's not 110, which I'm glad it isn't, because that's super chippy, and I think that's just not really in my ballpark for what I want. But this should last. I want to see how long this edge lasts, and I'm kind of curious what my experience is going to be in comparison to MagnaCut, because I've gotten like a little bit of mixed reviews from videos I watched saying S90 is better, or saying that MagnaCut's better. So I'm hoping 90V is better, honestly, just because I made this purchase. But if it's not, that just puts MagnaCut into another realm too, right? But that's another conversation. But yeah, so let's get into this handle here. We got the G10 This back spacer here, I think it's just hardened steel, with the pocket clip not being, deep carry, because that really wouldn't work. I mean, I guess you could go on an angle, but it'd be awkward in the pocket for sure. This thing hangs out. It's the first thing you might hit, and it only took me a couple times to remember it's there, because it didn't feel very good. But yeah, it's just one thing to mention. The liners are not inlaid. They do have a reasonable amount of cutout, which is good because, as I said, very heavy handle. At least for blade to handle ratio, anyways. But I'll say that the steel being not inlaid does give it a super robust feeling. It feels very strong in the hand. Like this is one of the toughest feeling handles I think I own, if not the toughest, honestly. Like it's solid. Like it's really solid. Yeah. What else can I say about these? I guess we could just move on to the blade here. We're running on washers, of course, Benchmade. I don't know if they ever use bearings. I don't think so. Me personally, then the action. It's a little bit like, see right there. It's a little. I gotta add a little bit of grease because I did take this apart. So I don't know if you guys watched Metal Complex's video on this knife. It's probably like the first one out. These don't come the most centered, and mine was not either. I got it a little better, but it was pretty bad. I actually nicked my pinky. So I took it apart, and me personally, I didn't know that Benchmade's, you just take the blade out and you have to, MacGyver it back in there with the washers. I've never experienced that before. I've never had to take apart my Osborne, so that was kind of a nightmare because I took everything apart and tried to do it like, the way most knives are done. And the Benchmade crossbars don't come apart. So when it got to that point, the part here, I'm losing the word right now, but this spot here to stop the blade, that kept falling out, and there was no way. So then I finally realized, okay, if it's not working this way, I'll try the other way. And after a while, I got it done. But just save yourself the trouble. If you get this and you try to fix it and you're new to Benchmade or whatever, yeah, the way it works is this blade just comes out and then you got to put it back in. You don't have to take apart the whole handle and everything. But yeah, so I got it reasonably straight, and this, it's, so I had to, the reason it's a little bit stiff, it's because I had to get it to a place where I didn't have any blade play. And if I play with it for a bit from the tip, I can get it to start moving really, like it's slight, but it is a little bit of movement. And I can't tighten the pivot anymore. That's as good as I'm going to get it. Right now, it could definitely use a little bit of mineral oil, so it will run a little smoother than it is now, which is good news. Yeah, that was a little bit annoying because, and it's like I already knew it was going to happen, so it is what it is. But these knives are expensive, and it is funny that, you get a QSP and the thing, there's no complaints, so I don't know, what the deal with that is, the OEMs, how it works or whatever, but it comes down to, do you want this knife? And I was like, yeah, I'm just going to get it. And I'm glad I did, even though, like I said, it's very minimal, super minimal. I'm not noticing any like issues when I'm using it, so that comes down to a little bit of preference. It should be perfect, but whatever is, right? So, yeah, let's look at the plunge grind here. Is done perfectly. That's one thing I really like about this, that you'll get as much life as you want out of this until you're like, this ain't slicey enough. Which I don't know if any of us have ever even gotten there, especially us that have multiple knives, right? But it's nice to know that the life's there if you ever needed it. See a little bit of lock stick too right now, but again, I think I could use a little bit of grease. I had some and it was smoother, but I don't know if it's in the right spots. Yeah, personally too, I think that these scimitar, like as they are, they brand it as a tactical knife, and it definitely is, you know, the shape for sure. But I would say S90V is going to be much better suited just, you know, as a daily carry. As a daily carry that you don't have to sharpen very often, which is very nice, you know. So that's a breeze. And if you get yourself a fixed angle, you'll be laughing. So, yeah, at the end of the day, I say the mini Bedlam is a win. Price, you know, included in that statement. I mean, I wish it was cheaper, of course. But now that I have it, am I happy it's over with? Yeah, I am. So, thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks.